What is up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be looking at Purple Luffy and the starter deck that will be releasing in about a week and a half. So this is the deck that I'm running. We do have new supports for this deck here. The Straw Hat Crew with the Searcher and a buddy that will let you cheat out another body from your hand. Is a pretty strong deck for me, especially if you're purple. If you're playing really fast, you can drop your Luffy Taro, which is an 8k body that they need to answer, a Sorajuro that is a Searcher, a Sanguro with the card cycle that you can use as a draw one for time it attacks, and a lot of new support. So 8.5 is not the best set for this deck here, but it's still strong. If you want to try the new starter deck, if this is the deck that you feel like gonna be playing in OP09, this is one of the best deck, I would say, and it could be pretty aggressive in terms of having this Magellan here. I feel like people will be cutting this one off because they have other cards like the new Sanji in OP09, and then you got the blocker Frankie as well, and you also have the Rush Luffy, the secret rare Luffy. So considering all those new cards in here, you can barely fit them in this deck. You need to cut some decks, and obviously the first one that you would cut would be the ones that have no counter and not searchable as well. So you want to make it like a Straw Hat team, but yeah, you're gonna be sacrificing this this engine here. I feel like this Magellan is such a good card because it ruins everyone's curve. If they're about to play like their 8 dawn turn, for example, like a Moria or like a Kid, it can ruin it. Like it can help you stall the game for a little bit, and then you do have your monsters here as well. You can drop the next turn, be like a Kide or a Lin, and that would just give you like a massive momentum throughout the whole game. So this is the list that I'm running. Obviously OP09 is coming out, so I would suggest to maybe think about like playing or getting the starter deck 18. Okay, yeah, 18, and hopefully this video will give you a good insight on how this deck works. But yeah, before we start, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you haven't liked this video, please do that one now. And we're gonna be releasing more starter deck videos just before the release day, so you can have a better idea of what starter deck to invest in if you're not getting all of them. Yeah, let's start the video. Alrighty, so first match would be against a Marco. Now we're gonna keep this hand because we did get the Zoro and the Magellan. So ideally you wanted to go second because you want to drop like a 5 cost card, either the Kid or the Magellan. But if you don't, you can always run the Zoro. It depends on what kind of hand you open up, but here in this case we're gonna do the Magellan. We're gonna counter early here because we want to preserve our life and use it as a ramping material. So here I'm gonna -1, so it kind of like ruins his curve. So whatever card he draw from his top deck, then he needs to wait another turn for him to play it. Now we managed to get the Luffy Taro. So the Luffy Taro basically is your main engine for this deck. because he cheats out one other card from your hand. He did attack us for 8 there, so unfortunately we don't have any counter on our hand, and we really wanted to play this Luffy Taro, but we are forced to play a blocker first just to be safe. I only have about 3k's worth of counter, but he hasn't established a board, which is pretty good for us. I'm gonna try and outpace him. So if he attacks by 6 here, I'm just gonna drop those Sorojuro. Here I'm gonna play the Luffy Taro and playing the Zoro, grabbing a 2k from that search because we don't have much counter left on our hand, unfortunately. And we're still trying to search out those key pieces that we need. Drop the Rayleigh here and KOing our Zoro as well, and then putting a minus 2000 onto our Luffy Taro. We're just gonna attach one Dawn onto that one, and then we are gonna do the law blocker and activate its ability. So he did drop. I forgot what he trashed from his hand. So we established a blocker here, which is good. We do have two counters, and we do have the Rush Kaido as well for the next turn, just in case he drops a blocker. So our Luffy Taro is already protected, and oh, never mind. Our blocker got KO, so that Rayleigh, he is eyeing that Luffy Taro right now. He drops down a blocker, and I'm pretty sure the leader ability will... Oh, the leader ability didn't... Oh, because it's already been used to the blocker. Okay, my bad. Now he tries to attack my Luffy Taro, but that's not gonna do any good. We're gonna protect our life one more time. And here I'm just contemplating what to do. I think this is the most efficient way is to drop the Kaido, KO the blocker, open up the opportunity for our swingers. So we do have 7, 8, and 10. So that's an easy game for us. So as long as you go wide. Oh, actually, we didn't even go wide this game, but having like, you know, dropping those big bodies earlier really helped us, especially the Magellan play on the second turn. That is massive for us. So he didn't get to set up his board because of that, and the only character that he actually established was the Rayleigh, and he did it like he tried to answer our board, but unfortunately we have so many characters that he couldn't answer. But yeah, so that's just the first game, and we'll dive into the next one because we do have a couple of games recorded here. Alrighty, so the next game would be against a yellow purple Robin, and this is actually one of the leaders that I'm looking to play next set, but I don't know about this leader. You kind of like trash your hand and ramp, but having like yellow and purple, they don't have much cards that will let you draw more cards. So I don't know if it is worth it. It also has a banish on its ability, so that's why we counter really early on that swing, the 9k swing. Unfortunately, we have to do that, otherwise we're not gonna survive this this matchup. So here what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna establish a blocker here, and I'm gonna force this character, or like this opponent, to give me the counters that she needs. So by the end of, by towards late game, we should be able to kind of like handle this this board. But yeah, here I was actually searching like, oh, why did it get banished? I thought that I was thinking of something else. So yeah, I think I was like thinking about Teach and how his ability works. Like he needs to trash one card, because I've been played like a lot of Teach during the time of this recording, and I think I just got I just got um, so used to like seeing my opponent trashing their hand, and yeah, before they activate their ability. But here we managed to drop those two big bodies that I was talking about. So this is your bread and butter. Here I'm just gonna use a 2k counter because I don't want to lose my life. I'm just gonna use that one to kind of like rush, or like at least use that one for my leader ability. I'm gonna swing 5 here just to poke, see what sort of cards she has. Here I'm gonna do 7, and I'm gonna drop that Kaido, and then I'm gonna use my leader ability to attack to get one active Dawn and attach it to the card is swinging 11. And as you can see, his hand break so bad, and that's just like how you deal with this kind of decks. You just go wide, turn 3, turn 4, you do have like a big body that they need to answer, and they just don't have it. And that's just how you win games with Purple Luffy. So we'll jump into the next game. Alrighty, next game would be against the Black Teach. So this is a very interesting deck that that's coming out next set, and it's very hard to deal with because there's no guarantee that you will be able to drop that Luffy Taro because of the unplayability. And yeah, we don't have much play here, so I'm gonna take my life. I was going to take my chances on getting a Zoro on my top life, but unfortunately we didn't, so we are just gonna drop that blocker. We're gonna counter here because we don't want to take too much of our life. And yeah, he uses a new event card. I think you just KO like a 4 cost or less in exchange for 4 Dawns. That Docu is really annoying as well, so you need to deal with that Docu a little bit later on. Ooh, that Luffy Taro came in handy, but we can't play its leader ability. Its unplayability because of the Teach's leader ability. But it's okay. So since we are purple, our goal is to get into 10 Dawns as much as we can, and we're going to build a big board. So he needs to spend a good amount of cost reduction for him to remove our board, especially like really early in the game. You would have to trash a lot of resources from your hand if you're Teach, and having to activate your leader ability is another card that you need to trash from your hand, and eventually you're just gonna lose counter once I build my board. So that's the game plan here. That's the approach that you should be doing. He's very wise with what he was doing, because he knows that if he doesn't activate his leader ability, I'm just gonna use my Kaidos and like my other big characters on the board, and just I'm just gonna use it as a as a vanilla. So it's gonna be hard for him without the 10 cost Teach that's coming out on OP09 as well. So that 10 cost 12k body blocker So if you're Teach, that's what you want to play on your Tendon turn. And here the Laffites are actually pretty annoying as well, because it lets you draw cards for free, and if you don't swing with these Laffites, then your game plan to try to starve this Teach won't work. And yeah, I'm still trying to protect my life as much as I can, because it's gonna be very hard for us not to use our leader ability. We're already on 10 dons, and we still have our we still have our Kaido on the board. He's got 4 cards left on his hand, and he has to deal with all of this. So I drop another Kaido here. It doesn't matter if it is like a 9-cost vanilla at this point, but for him to remove 2 Kaidos, it's a bit too much. I don't think he has the right resources. I'm just gonna grab my life here, because I still have 3 lives, so I think I'm on a pretty good shape here. Now he stun locked my other Kaido, so I really need to be wise with how I play my turn here. He's got 4 cards in hand. I need to hit him 3 times at least, because of the blocker and the 1 life left. Here I made a mistake. I should have done a 12k swing into his leader, so at least if he blocks with Blackbeard, then I should be able to like get at least 1 more card out of his hand. But unfortunately, I was just like too excited to just swing. I think I'm gonna I thought I was gonna take my life here, but I did put all my dons into my leader. Now he has to deal with 2 Kaidos and a blocker, plus my swing as well. So yeah, I don't think he has too many options here unless he drops a blocker like another Blackbeard. But even then, I'm just gonna swing like 10 10 10. He has to answer both of them, which means that he needs to block using 2 of his 10 cost Teach, and then I can just like attach all my dons into my leader, and it should be finished. Here the Laffites are still doing a lot of work. I don't have much option in my situation, so that's why I didn't swing for the Laffites. Now look at his hand. He's got a pretty good amount of hand size, and this could be dangerous for us because we didn't take care of the Laffites. And now he's just gonna swing 7 here. I still have that 0 event card, and I do have the Magellan hit there, luckily as a sacrifice for that 0 cost event. Here I can go for game. I can just use 12 12 12 again, and he doesn't have any answer. If he blocks, then he doesn't have any answer for my next swing. So 12, he needs to block this one, otherwise he loses. And then whatever is remaining into my Don deck, then I'll just go straight to my leader. So that's how you defeat Blackbeard. So you just have to go wide and make sure you swing into his leader as much as you can. You need to play like a lot of smaller bodies for you to kind of like not to get board controlled by Teach, because at the end of the day it's still a black deck, so whatever small cost that you play, it will be easily removed. So I think like a mid-range kind of deck is a very good deck against Blackbeard. So that's the Blackbeard matchup, and we're just gonna go into the next one. Okay, so here is a matchup that I really hate playing against with the Green Bonnie. Bonnie is really strong from OP08 until OP09, and I just hate playing against Bonnie. Gotta swing to the Searcher because we don't want our opponent to search cards and just to set up for the next few plays. Here I'm just looking for I think a ticket counter. Ticket counter is good for this because we don't have much counter in our hand. Obviously we're gonna protect our life, and we do have a 7k swing in here, or like a 6k swing. He's gonna rest my leader obviously, and I'm just gonna take my life and then put the Luffy Taro and the Sangoro, I believe, to have more characters on the board. That means that he's gonna struggle with my board as well. Even if he rests one of my character, that means that I do have another big character into onto my field. Here he's gonna rest my Sangoro just to prevent a drawing one card from my top deck. I'm gonna target his Uroge here, but I don't think that was the right play. I should have targeted the Cavendish, because the Cavendish always gives her a three or two dons active at the end of the turn, and I feel like this is the game where it bites back for not for not KOing that Cavendish. Again, this matchup, you need to KO the right cards for Bonnie, because you don't want to give Bonnie a active don at the end of the turn, because the leader will just activate its ability, and that's gonna be one less swing for you. Here I'm gonna use my trusted blocker, the Trafalgar Law, and it's just gonna trash 2 cards from his hand. In here I'm gonna take my life. He's gonna swing for 6, and I'm gonna swing for 7. Then I was wondering why I didn't get any cards here. I completely forgot that the new Sanji requires an 8 dons or more for him to activate the ability. But yeah, I think I got too carried away with like how wide my board is, and seeing Bonnie into his last life, and like I can just go for a game next turn. That just got it got me too excited and completely forgot about my card's ability. So don't do that if you're playing on your locals. Make sure you read all your cards, and it's gonna ruin the momentum, and I think that's what's gonna happen here. It's gonna swing 6. It's just gonna swing 9, and I'm just gonna block it. Now he knows that I don't have any counter on my hand. He's gonna swing 9 again, and he knows I don't have any counter, and he's gonna swing 10, and that's just game for us. So again, I should have KO'd that Cavendish earlier and just left that Uroge, because the Uroge is gonna die anyway, because I'm gonna swing 10, and that was just like a very big mistake from my part. And yep, I think we do have one more game, and we're just gonna close out with this video. Alrighty, so for our last game would be Doflamingo. So Doflamingo would be the flavor of the set coming into OP09, and there's just gonna be so many builds for this deck. And if you haven't seen my Doflamingo starter deck 16, I believe, then go watch that one now, because that deck is insane. So I feel like that's gonna be my deck for OP09 once it comes out, or like even in OP0 8.5. So it's really strong. I think it's the strongest amongst all the starter decks that's coming out, but Smoker is up there as well. So we'll talk about that one on the feature video. Here I'm just gonna be swinging into his leader. I kind of like change my tactic here, because Usually I would just not swing into a Doflamingo, because that will just give him resources uh, to defend his characters on board, the ones that he plays on the board. But yeah, I feel like having this deck is a pretty good, it's a pretty good deck that will just kind of like outruns and outpace this Doflamingo deck. I know for a fact that Doflamingo doesn't play a lot of 2k counters, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be swinging with either 6 or 7. That means that he has to give up 2 cards for me most of the time, and it's going to be very hard for him. I'm going to be playing up Magellan, even though it's a bit late into the game, but remember our opponent is still not on 10 dons, so whatever we can do, then we'll just do it to slow down this Doflamingo. So we're on 9 dons now. We're gonna swing 7 into this Jinbei, making sure that he would disappear into this this turn, and he would not get any value from bringing it out from the leader ability. But even though he did already, because of the on play ability, but we don't want an extra swing from that card, so we're just gonna remove that one into the board. Swinging 8, putting more pressure into this Doflamingo. He gave me 3 cards. Well, I'll take it. 3 cards to save the Boa. Then I'll take that any day. We also have to be very careful with the Doflamingo. You don't want to be like be on your last life and then you have 1 blocker, because Fumer is it's still a thing. It's still a thing. You don't want to risk it. And if you have any opportunity to block it or like counter it, you have to counter it. Otherwise, you're gonna lose games. So you're swing 7 here. I think I'm just gonna guard this one with the 0 event cost. He's gonna swing with his he's gonna swing with his blocker here, and I don't think that was a very good decision for him. He established like 2 blockers there. All he has to do was just hope for the best, but it doesn't matter because we do have like a wide board, as you can see. And I was right, that Fumer is right there. He's waiting for me to go down into my last life, and he's just gonna use that one into one of his characters or his leader. So I'm not gonna fall for that one. I played the deck, so I know what sort of event cards you're running, and I just know how to be careful. So yeah, so that's pretty much all the games that I played for this deck, and we're just gonna go back into the deck list, and we'll see if we can conclude how good this deck is. Alright guys, so we're back here into the deck list, and overall it is a pretty solid deck for OP 8.5, but I feel like it's not good enough for you to like compete into like winning a locals. But I mean, if you can make it work, then more power to you. And I would love to know how to make this deck work into 8.5 if that was possible. But OP9 would be a really better deck for this leader. Like I said, the Sanji, the Rush Sanji is a good addition. This new Zoro as well. You may return. Oh, actually, this is more for the Black Purple Luffy. New Frankie as well. Don't -2, discard 1 card from your hand, draw 2. If you ever got like a 1k counter, then You know, if you know that you're running a lot of TK counters on your deck, then this might be a good play. And obviously the 9 cost secret rare Luffy may return 1 or more Dawn cards from play to your Dawn deck, draw 1 card, then this card gains Rush. So you can just return 1 Dawn. It doesn't have to be like 2 Dawns, just because this card particularly was, you know, set for the Black Purple Luffy, the Gear 5 Luffy, but you can just do one Dawn to return. And this one here as well, so the Gum Gum Giant, this is a very good counter. So just don't -2, may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader is a Straw Hat type, give up to one of your leader plus 4,000 for this battle. Then draw 2 cards. Oh my god. You're not just protecting your life on that swing, you're gonna be protecting your life for the next swing as well if you draw like good amount of counter from those 2. But could be a game changer here. Very good card. But yeah, other than that, that's it for me for 8.5. Let me know what are your thoughts for this leader. Is this your leader? Is this the leader that you are planning to run once the starter deck gets released, or are you saving this one for OP09? That's it for me. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that one now. And I'm gonna be dropping the Smoker. I believe the Smoker would be like a good deck to play, and Uta as well. Uta is very good. Yeah, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys into the next video. Bye.